In today's video, we're going to be comparing the Boston Terrier and the King Charles Cavalier Spaniel and helping you to choose which to bring into your home. Judge. That's the name of the dog who's considered to be the origin of the Boston Terrier. He was a tough, muscular dog who was bred to entertain the need of dogs who could excel in the blood sport so popular in England in the 19th century. Judge, who was born sometime in the 1860s, was sold by his English owner to an American named William O'Brien, who brought him to Boston. O'Brien sold him to another Bostonian, Robert C. Hooper, and Judge ending up being called Hooper's Judge. Due to siring a number of puppies, he is the patriarch of the entire Boston Terrier breed and the ancestor of all true Bostons. From the beginning, the breed was called the Roundheads, but eventually the breed's name was changed to honour the city which was so crucial in the creation of the breed. Thus, today we know them as the Boston Terrier. Back in England, the British royalty had been very fond of toy spaniels for centuries. King Charles I and Charles II were devoted to a black and tan version of the toy spaniel, who was later named in honour of the latter of the kings. In the early 19th century, these toy spaniels were still incredibly popular among British aristocracy, who began breeding their dogs with most likely pugs and Japanese chins. This created a whole new dog with a domed head and a flatter face, who became known as the King Charles Spaniel. In the 1920s, people began wondering if there were any old type toy spaniels, and an American named Roswell Eldridge offered cash as a prize to any English breeder who could produce the Blenheim Spaniels of the old world type. Driven by the promise of money, English breeders managed to recreate the old world type toy spaniel, who was rewarded by the name Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. The Cavalier part of its name is a nod to the monarchist party who had supported the Stuarts during the Civil War that ultimately cost King Charles I his head. The Cavalier King Charles is the smaller of these two breeds. He stands up to 12 to 13 inches above the ground, whereas the Boston Terrier reaches taller with 15 to 17 inches. Weight-wise, the Cavalier should stay within 13 to 18 pounds to be healthy, while the Boston Terrier has a larger range and can weigh anywhere between 12 to 25 pounds. The Boston Terrier is quite a sturdy dog, compact and muscular with large erect ears. His head is quite square with a flat front, which makes his eyes slightly protruding. As a matter of fact, the entire dog is quite square, with his long legs and rather short back. The Cavalier, on the other hand, has a more rectangular and very well balanced shape. The Cavalier King Charles's head has soft curves and a longer nose than his brother, the King Charles Spaniel, whose nose is flatter and the same protruding eyes as the Boston Terrier. The Cavalier has a long silky coat, whilst the Boston Terrier has a short coat laying tight on his body. Colour-wise, the Boston Terrier is white and either black, brindle or seal. The Cavalier can be found in black and tan, black and white, Blenheim or ruby. Both of these breeds are easy to train, as they are eager to please their human and equally easy to focus through food and or praise. Although one might think otherwise, the Boston Terrier is quite a softie and needs to be treated with kindness in training. The Boston Terrier may be the slightly more difficult one when it comes to training. Due to his background with blood sports and his original crossbreeding between bulldogs and terriers, he has a strong will combined with a fair amount of stubbornness. He has a mind of his own, so better find out what triggers his will to work to trespass those sides of him. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel is bred to be a lapdog. He's adorable, not only in looks but also in temperament. He's sweet and loving, affectionate and gentle and wants nothing else but to please his people. He's smart and happy to assist in other areas than keeping you company. A good example is a therapy dog. A Boston Terrier, on the other hand, likes to stay busy. While he doesn't need those many hours of exercise, he still enjoys moving. This can be done by walks or playtime with his people, who he loves and wants to spend as much time with as possible.
Hey guys, very quickly, I just wanted to ask, are you following us over on Instagram? If you're not, there's two accounts that I would love for you to check out. The first one is our brand account, at Fenrir Canine Leaders, where you can see more about our industry-leading products that we create. If you're interested in following me personally, that's at I Am Will Atherton, where you can see behind the scenes of me working with some of the most extreme behaviour cases in the world and what it takes to run these kind of YouTube channels. And maybe if you just want to be able to come over and chat with me, that's the place for you. So there'll be links down in the description box for both of our Instagram pages. I'd love for you to come and check them out, and hopefully we'll chat over there.
While Bostons are sweet and gentle dogs, they are both strong-willed and stubborn, so please remember that you will need to be equally strong-willed and stubborn to make him understand that your rules actually apply to him too. These two adorable breeds have very different backgrounds, and they also differ in looks, but they are both sweet, gentle and affectionate dogs. If you raise and train them properly, you have the best friend that you can imagine. When it comes to which one, well, that's a question only you can answer.